Welcome. This is the May Conversations at the Center. Appreciate everybody being here today and welcome everybody to this topic of discussion. So I received 0 topics to talk about today, but I do want to just update everybody on some of the things that we're doing here at the center. Just a reminder that all of our kennels are open. Oh, I shouldn't say all. All dogs are open to be viewed here in the center. It's actually more open than we've ever been before in the history of the ASCMV. Before COVID, you could only see really one kennel, or it was just, I'm sorry, 2 kennels. So the small breed kennel and then the kennel behind that. And currently, with being able to, we got the parking lot area back from the construction center, or I'm sorry, the construction of the new center. Now what people do is they walk around that side of the building and they have access to kennels A and kennels B, and also small breeds in the front lobby. So that is 3 kennels that people can walk into. It's about 24, I think 24 more kennels than what was pre-COVID. So we're excited about that. Everything's all marked on how to get there. I mean, the first week was a little, some people got lost, but I think that right now that things are going a lot better compared to that. So we're grateful for that. We have some other things is cats is always available. You can come and see at the ASCMV, and we have some wonderful cats if you're interested there. We had on April 27th, a feral sterilization day. I think it was National TNR Feral Spay or Neuter TNR Day. It was on one of our calendars, so that's what we called it. We learned a lot from it. We did not have the turnout that we expected, but right after that, because we didn't have a big turnout, we did a poll online, and so we have been able to, or from that we were able to find out some of the biggest issues, and one is lack of time. Was one complaint that we had. So in other words, the lack of time from announcing to when the event was. I think we did it 3 days before the actual event, so that was a complaint. The fee, the amount was a complaint. We were charging $40. Even though that is significantly decreased from what it would be to get a veterinarian, there was still that complaint. And then not having appointments was another complaint. Like they didn't want to wake up early in the morning, go through the trouble, or set the trap the night before, go through the trouble of having the cat in the trap, getting the trap here early in the morning just to find out that there's no spots available. So we did learn a lot. Also from that, we went, and Dr. Haddon, out of the goodness of her beautiful heart, she said that we would continue to accept any TNR cats that kind of trickled in from the public that day. I think it was over the next couple days, or it was just into the next day, Doc? Oh, you're on mute.
It was just that day because we hadn't put a cutoff time, and we didn't get any more come in. We didn't get any come in. So I'll say something when you're done.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. My office mate. Yeah. She has my personality. Anyway, to the TNR, we do have a survey response. We did the survey and we have a response to that survey that will be going out. I was waiting to get an input from Holly on that, our spay neuter coordinator, prior to putting it out. Elaine had put it together. I was trying to get it up here to this blurb. I hope addresses everything that we found that was responded to in the survey. There was a reason 3 days was less than I had planned. We had planned a week. Because if we do, as some folks in the survey requested, 3 weeks out, we will get more than we can do. So our plan was 1 week. Due to trying to be ready, it didn't get done before that. I'm trying to see what the other things were. Was the don't know how to trap, don't know where to get traps. That's going to be addressed this next time that we do it. And the rationale behind registration in this response, it's going to be said that we can't hold spots because, as anyone who traps knows, you never know if you're going to get them. So if we hold 50 spots and 5 people come, then other people that could have trapped and brought in, they just don't get to. So we're still not going to do appointments. We had 50 spots available, and we were prepared to do up to 25 more. So we're going to do up to 75, and we could have held on to even more if need be. So this statement of not being able to get the surgery done, that doesn't give us much credit for knowing what it takes to trap a cat. And then why would we have you bring them in for surgery if we weren't going to do them? So, but anyway, this will be finalized today. Holly will come in this afternoon. We'll get Elaine to finish it, and it will be posted. So that's my 2 cents worth, right? Maybe.
Thank you very much. Great information. There was in the chat, there was a question basically saying, are you going to do it again with the improvements? And the answer is yes, we are going to be trying to do it again. When? Still to be determined, but we'll get plenty of information out and plenty of lead time as well. Some things that are happening, I just want to update everybody on. So just so you know, on May 19th, we have another Halo rescue that's going to be coming up. We are going to be talking, oh no, I take that back. I had a talk with Halo Rescue's CEO about our distemper issues. She's aware of it. And as far as I know, as of this moment right now, that is still moving forward on the 19th. Let's see. We had last weekend, we did an adoption event at NMSU. We did 4 adoptions there. It was a great volunteer turnout, I'm being told. And it's always good to have a good experience when you come to your first volunteer event. So I'm glad that that went well. On May 15th, the dog walking photos are going to be done. This is a really cool event that our volunteers do. So what they come at 8 in the morning and they bring a dog out that hasn't been out in a while, or that their photo is still the intake photo. And they get a really good, they walk them all around, so all the energy's out, and then they get a good photo taken of them. And then that information or that photo is uploaded to the shelter program, which in turn is uploaded to the website so people can see a good photo of it. They usually do as many dogs as possible. And if I remember correctly, that's usually around at least 50 dogs. I want to say 60 dogs that they did last time. They got out and got walked, and that's just in one day. So that's awesome. If you're interested in doing that, you have to be a volunteer and you have to have dog walking training. So you can always contact Yoli if you're interested. Just call us here at the center, area code 575-382-0018. Ask for Yoli, and she'll be able to get you hooked up or set up on becoming a volunteer and when the training is for those dog walkings. We have a fantastic event coming up on May 14th. This organization called Leadership of Las Cruces. This is where future leaders, I don't say that as in kids, I say that as in, people that are in mid to upper level management, adults. They pay money and they're in this course, and it's for 6 months. It's with the Chamber of Commerce. And at the end of their course, like a capstone project, they choose a beneficiary or choose a big project and who to benefit from that. And we were chosen from this class that's going to be graduating. So we're just doing a gigantic adoption event. The last one that they did, if I remember correctly, they raised $25,000 to the beneficiary that the group that benefited from. So we are excited about that. I know money is already coming in from organizations that are just donating money. So that's great. But the 14th, it's across. Michelle, do you remember the address? I'm looking at the map, but it doesn't have street addresses on here.
It's right by the Chamber of Commerce on the corner of Loman and Main, in that Peter Piper parking lot, right? Like in that corner between the Chamber of Commerce and Peter Piper.
Perfect, thank you. That's going to be on the 14th. I believe it starts at 8 a.m. We're going to be $25 adoptions is going to be the special.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Thank you. May 21st, we're going to be at Petco. May 28th, we're going to be at PetSmart. To back up a little bit, we received a grant a while ago from Petco Love and also Best Friends. So on May 12th at the Picacho Vista is a hotspot for cats. So we do a vaccine clinic there. And that's a great opportunity. You know, just we're trying to do the rifle approach instead of the shotgun approach, where it's going to blast all over, pinpoint specifically where we want to go. And then some fun news on May 23rd through the 25th, the Las Cruces Fire Department got a hold of us, and they would like to shoot a calendar with us and our animals. I shouldn't say us and animals, it's them and our animals. I am not going to be in a calendar. I know you are all very disappointed, but I won't be. But it's looks like a lot of fun, and they're even going to be fostering the pets, so they're used to them. So they're going to do that about three or 4 days before the photo shoot. So the photo shoot is coming up the end of May. Those will be available for purchasing. I'm being told that all the proceeds will come to the ASCMV. So thank you very much for that. Just looking over my notes really quick. If none of you have saw or have heard the ASCMV, we are currently in a heightened awareness of distemper here. We are experiencing both animals coming in with distemper, like clinical signs of distemper, or tested positive for distemper, and animals that have been here for a little while have tested positive. If I remember right, Doc, we just did the news with Telemundo. How many animals have tested positive?
We just got more results in today, so I
Okay.
haven't added those in, but
I want to say we did 69 tests and 29 came back positive. That's it. That's it.
something like that. Sounds a little high, sorry.
Yeah, it was a little high, but we're working really closely with professionals with the University of Florida, and also a director acquaintance of mine. She came up through and worked with us when we had our other distemper case, working with her. So we have plans moving forward. Testing is actually a big part of it. These tests are not cheap. They're about, I want to say $65 each. So just doing the 69 of them we had was a pretty big chunk of change, but we want to be sure that we are that we're doing things to the best of our ability. So we are going to be euthanizing, or we have euthanized for distemper. And what that means is I don't want to just euthanize an animal because it has a snotty nose. Let's find out for sure on that. If any of you don't know, Distemper is a chameleon virus type, so it may attack the intestines, which makes the animal have bloody diarrhea, which could be parvo or giardia, and so we just don't know. Or it could attack the lungs and nasal areas, so they're blowing green snot. And we think it could be kennel cough. And it's not until the final stages of it, and the animal's been shedding this virus the entire time, when clinical signs of neurological, when it gets to the brain, show up, that's when we don't need to test for sure, that and we know of a high percentage that it is distemper. So that's why testing is so important. We're creating areas in the center that are attempting to be safe the best we can. We've had 2 animals come in and only be here for 3 days, and they were snotty, so we tested them and they came back positive for distemper. Distemper takes 2 weeks in order for it to show signs of it. So we know that those 2 animals, one was from county, one was from city jurisdiction. So we know they're coming in with it as well. And that's tough. It's tough to battle something that we're getting hit from all sides for. I'm being asked, are you able to talk about your budget request for the next fiscal year? So that is a great question. The budget was presented to the board at this last budget meeting, and it was not passed. It depends on who you ask, is you get different reasons on why it wasn't passed. We are working with our chair committee, our committee chair, our board chair, past president, because that's a county and city position. So we're working with them to find out what the next step is going to do. Currently, right now, I'm being told in the city budget for us is just a flat budget from last year. And same with the county. It's a flat from what it was last year. So 1.75 million from the city and 1.45 million from the county. The board understands that it needs to be increased from that because we are opening our new center up in October of 2022. That's in this next fiscal year. And there are talks of going forward. And once we know both the county and the city's contributions for sure, because the county may come and they may increase, because both commissioners said that they know that the increase needs to be there, but it won't be the full amount that we're asking for. We're asking for 2.10 or 2.1 million each was what we were asking for. So maybe watch for an emergency board meeting or some other information going out, but I can't even ask for the positions that were in that budget because the budget was turned down. So I have to wait until something is passed saying, yes, these are, the board approves of these positions, and then we can get going on them, whichever ones they approve. So it's a frustrating process, to say the least. I feel very bad for Dr. Haddon, who had this, and also Bernice, who had to sit through the entire thing, didn't have a lot of the answers, and that's my apologies. I had to have surgery on that day. The only other day to have it was in the middle of May, and I needed to get it done. So it was frustrating for all, but we are going to get through it and move through it. Another question is, are you able to talk about the status of the JPA? Absolutely. So I've had some really beneficial meetings with the county commissioner, the county manager, assistant county manager, assistant city manager, and then city councilor was in on the last one. But we're just going through the JPA line by line. Some changes, and again, whatever changes are made, both the city and the county have to agree on it, and then the board has to agree on it, and then it gets sent to the state to make sure everything is legal with the state for a JPA. So we did recommend changes to the number of meetings Like right now, that says that it has to meet every month. So we changed that. I'm not going to say what the changes were, just because it might not stick. We're just these recommendations. The number of board members that's on there was also addressed, and who those are. We did some changes on elected official and public and staff members as well. So those are some of the biggest highlights. The fees that it talks about, it's basically staying, the language is staying the same as of right now. I'm kind of caught in the middle. I would sure like to see, like a minimum funding, something like that put in there, but they didn't want that in there, and they're the ones that make the JPA. So it still says that they should be split 50-50. So that's why the county can only do so much and the city's doing a lot more. And that brings us back to the budget. That's a lot of the frustration with the city is here we are on city land in a city building, brand new city building being built by city money, taxpayer money. I believe it's by property taxes. So and you have county that's contributing less, still utilizing all those things I just mentioned. And it's only about 200 animals less than the city. So there is some frustration there for sure. All right. I think I was able to get all the questions in the chat. Appreciate that. The new center, update you on that. We are still good for October of 2022. That's going to be the substantial completion date. Me and the other managers went in there last week, I believe. Had a great walkthrough. The contractor was there with us. So, it was really neat to see things that have always been in your head and see them on paper and be able to walk through and know pretty much where you are. So that was good to see that. Michelle is really worried because her office still does not have a door. And I told her that we're incorporating a free flow program. So I teased her that there's not going to be a door in her office. So that's all we have today. I think 25 minutes is pretty good for not having any questions submitted. Dr. Haddon, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, it took me a minute to find my unmute button. There was a question about considering a Monday for a TNR day. That would, I don't know that I can do that. That's a really hard day to begin with, Mondays. And we also have our heaviest adoption days are Friday and Saturday. So adoptions need to be done on Monday. I won't say that absolutely not, we won't. I understand why Monday would be a good day for them, but I hope that they understand why it's not a good day for us. Mondays are just crazy, but we will keep it in mind.
Yes, thank you very much. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Michelle, you have anything update us up front?
I can't think of anything right now. Nope, I'm good.
All right, thank you. Bernice.
No, sir, everything's good here. Thank you.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. We had some issues with some of our draining lines, our sewer lines in the center. So we had to call Roto-Rooter. They came in and jetted some of the lines out to clear that blockage. So we currently had a preventive maintenance plan where Maddox Plumbing comes in and jets our lines. Well, we found out that the kennel that was the issue was not on that preventive maintenance. It was only just the main lines that were on preventive maintenance. So starting in June, that has been added to our preventive maintenance line. So we're hopefully that is going to help us out immensely, but we haven't knock on wood, we have been just fine on that part. I'd like to take a moment and say again, thank you to Dr. Haddon and Bernice for braving the board meeting all on their own while I was gone. I sure appreciate that. I have a feeling that there's more still for me to owe them. And just a public thank you, but I sure appreciate doing that. I want everybody to know that I work with some amazing people, and I'm very grateful for that because it makes my job a lot easier. I know the public out there, when they come here and they don't hear what they want to hear, they get upset and they say how bad a person is, or this person's not nice, or so on and so forth. I know that these individuals work their hardest to do good things. So I appreciate that. So with that said, I think we're good to go. Everybody have a great May and also a great weekend. And remember, please, I know I'm not saying this I'm saying this to the wrong group, but please adopt, don't shop. We'll see you later.